Hey, welcome back to Shots Fired. Now, today we're going to recap National Pickleball League weekend number 2 in Boca and preview weekend number 2 in Denver. Once again, to see National Pickleball League standings, scores, and results, go to pickleballteamleagues.com and click on NPL. To start, we want to recognize the incredible 5 players that went undefeated in weekend number 2 Boca, including from the Austin Ignite. Katri Bozer went 8-0. She's 13-3 so far this season and making a strong case for National Pickleball League Rookie of the Year. Also going undefeated was NPL veteran Brian Levine, went 6-0 for the Boca Surge. 2 Oklahoma City Punishers, Amy Taylor and Laurent Young, both went 6-0. Now, Young's record on the season is an amazing 11-1. And also, Princeton Bruisers superstar Sherry Corder went 8-0 for the weekend and has an incredible 15-1 record on the season.
That's insane, by the way, at this level to go 15-1 on the season and 8-0 in a session. And then obviously there are some people who are really top heavy in this league who just don't lose. I mean, when you're going 6-0, 8-0, 6-0, and then your season stats are 11-1 and 5-1, and this is only week 2. And I get it, we haven't played everybody. There's peaks and valleys, but some of these people have had amazing starts. And Sherry obviously has been hot for a while, coming off the U.S. Open, and just keeps on rolling. So,
yeah, Sherry's a top-rated duper woman in Champions Age pickleball, so she's definitely a hot player right now. Okay, so for weekend number 2 BOCA recap, what we had 2 teams went 3-1 for the weekend: Oklahoma City and Princeton. Now, Princeton actually beat Oklahoma City on Sunday afternoon, but Oklahoma City won the weekend by winning more matches overall total. Big comeback from Oklahoma City after going 0-4 in weekend number 1. Now, Sleeves, we both had Oklahoma City in our top 5 preseason power ranking, so it's no surprise to us that Oklahoma City could turn it on, play really strong and hard, and win a weekend event.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, a lot of that probably has to do with some of the leadership. Obviously Carroll's a great owner, but Mark Milner, what a start to his season. And in leading by example, going out there, 5-1 this week and 10-2 on the season, putting the team on his back, so to speak, on some level, and willing some wins out there and really putting them back in the run, because you start off the season in the hole like that, you got to do something week 2 or you're really in trouble.
Yeah, they turned it on. Everyone played great. Now, besides Amy and Young going undefeated, Oklahoma City had winning records from Candace Nelms, Kelly Dakin, Toki Yamasato, Blake Arendt, Patrick Cote, Steve Dawson, and like you said, Mark Milner. Milner's playing incredible pickleball. And so Oklahoma City proved that they're going to be a team to beat the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you got Steve Dawson, the OG, man, 5-1. So good for Steve.
All right, next we had Princeton Bruisers bounce back from a tough weekend number 1 to finish in second place with a 3-1 record. Now, besides Sherry, other Bruisers with winning records include Jose DeRisi, Spencer Mormon, Eric Cutson, and NPL Combine winner Robin Stinger. Robin has an 11-3 record on the season. I played against Robin this past weekend, and she's as tough as nails.
Yeah, 11-3, 7-1, and she's probably thinking at this point, boy, this league's easy.
That's right. Win a combine. Yeah, roll through the league. Yeah.
Hey,
but now, then people start to realize,
exactly.
to get
prepared. Back, Robin.
That's right. But she played great. She's a great player. So three other teams finished 2-2 for the weekend, including America's team, the Columbus Hotshots, who on Saturday morning had a 6-3 lead against a stacked Austin Ignite team. Then we lost the next 3 mixed matches to force a team breaker. Austin beat us pretty bad in the team breaker. So Columbus, Austin, and Boca all finished 2-2 for the weekend. So instead of the Hotshots or any of those 6 teams from Boca pulling away from the pack, we all mostly got bunched up together in the season standings.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change. I mean, if you look at the lineups of all these teams, I think it's the regular season, and rightfully so, is jockeying for position for a deep playoff run. And obviously, there's going to be ups and downs. People are missing, people are hurt, teams get hot, players get hot. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to a lot of just team breakers and pulling out matches late. Those win by one games too. You look back at the season, you go, man, if we could have just got a few more of those. But everybody says that, and I think it's kind of being at the right place at the right time when October rolls around and seeing who's peaking then. And a lot of this is theater for that, which is really fun for all of us.
Yeah, a lot of lineups shifting around, different people getting put on different pods. So there's definitely a lot of strategy involved, and that's what makes it fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Hey, this week's Hotshots player spotlight is Kimberly Nelson. Now, Kim's an NPL rookie from Harriman, Utah. She's got a 14-year-old son who loves to play football. Kim's been playing pickleball for about 7 years. Now, in weekend number 2, BOCA, Kim had an impressive record of 4 wins and 2 losses. That's great playing, Kim, and we're happy that you're a Columbus hotshot. Hey, quick cut in to thank today's episode sponsor, Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin and Great Lakes Hyundai of Columbus. If you're in the Columbus or Cleveland area or want to shop for a new Hyundai or pre-owned vehicle online, visit our great friends at Great Lakes Auto Group. Hey, also a quick reminder that the National Pickleball League is sponsored by QC Kinetics, the leading clinic for non-surgical therapy for joint pain, muscle pain, and sports-related injuries. QC Kinetics has offices throughout the nation, so schedule your free evaluation today and tell them you were sent by the Hotshots. Okay, Sleeves, that takes care of weekend number 2 BOCA recap. Now let's move on to weekend number 2 Denver preview. We got 6 teams playing in Denver this weekend, which are Coachella Valley Scorpions, Denver Iconics, Indy Drivers, Houston Hammers, Kansas City Stingers, and the Seattle Tsunami. Now, on paper, this event has the overall stronger teams in the league, with 4 of those 6 teams having a winning record, and the other 2 are at 500 with 2 wins and 2 losses. So let's get into some of those top matchups, including on Saturday morning, we've got Denver versus Seattle. This is the battle of the undefeated women's doubles teams of Molly Carter and Gina Salento versus Andrea Olson and Cara Beth Lee. For the top women in the game today, Denver and Seattle both have 3-1 records heading into this matchup. Sleeves, what do you make of this? Do you have a prediction on this matchup?
Wow. Well, here's the thing. I mean, Denver's at home. And again, there's 2 things with playing at home, and you know this as well because you hosted your first event this season. Opening event is you have the crowd behind you. You're at home. You get to sleep in your own bed and all that fun stuff. But you also have the pressure of playing at home and expectations of what that means, and you're supposed to get it done. So, boy, that's a toss-up match for me. I'm a big fan of Gina, so I'm going to go with them.
Going with the hometown Iconics. Starting out,
yeah.
Saturday morning, they'll have a lot of adrenaline and energy from the crowd. So I think that might be a good call. On Saturday afternoon, we have Coachella versus the Kansas City Stingers. Now, this is an important weekend for the Stingers. Through last year, they were around a 500 team all year. It seemed like every weekend they won 2 and lost 2. This week, this 2025 season, what they do weekend 1, they won 2 and lost 2. So to me, this is a defining moment for the Stingers to see if they can come out against an undefeated Coachella Valley team. Coachella has 9 players with winning records after weekend number 1. So huge test for Kansas City to see if they're an above 500 team, below 500 team, or right at 500 team again this year. Now, Kansas City's top men's pairing of Darryl Wyatt and David George are undefeated after weekend number 1, but they're going to get big tests this weekend. What do you think about this, Sleeves?
Yeah, Coachella, I think we're going to find out if they are one of the teams that could potentially be dominant. And, obviously, hot start. You couldn't ask for a better start for that team. But playing a team, you're right, in Kansas City that needs to kind of make a push and get their franchise going and making sort of a statement. And I look for Darryl to do that, actually. I picked him as being somebody to look out for this season, and I haven't changed my mind yet. So,
I've thought the same thing about this weekend number 2 in Denver. This could go, this really go two different ways. You could either have a bunch of teams go 2-2 and they just kind of battle each other
Mhm.
and trade wins and losses, or some team could step up and go undefeated, or maybe same as what happened in Boca, a couple teams go 3-1 and the rest kind of go about average. So it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Sunday morning we have a Houston versus Seattle matchup. This will be tough for Houston because this will be Houston's third match in a row for the weekend against a team with only one loss or less. So Houston, like we said, Houston can prove themselves to be a top team, or if they have a bad Saturday, this could steamroll into a really tough weekend for them. Two top-ranked guys to watch in this matchup are NPL rookies Andrew Painter for Houston and Brian Baker for Seattle. Both those guys played really well in weekend number 1, and will want to carry that momentum into this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those coin flip matches for me. Like a lot of them are going to be this season, and like I mentioned earlier, it depends on which lineup shows up and who's playing well at that point. So I do know, obviously, Houston is used to being in some very tough matches, but obviously, you look at the lineups of people that are on seats like Witskin and Mills and company. I think it could go either way. I actually look for Seattle to start kind of imposing a little bit of their will. I think they're hungry and they want it. Not that anybody else doesn't want it, but I look for a little bit of a push maybe from Seattle this week.
All right, and on Sunday afternoon, we have the Indy drivers versus the Denver Iconics. Now, Indy had a respectable 2-2 record after weekend number 1 because they were dealing with some injuries and they had some subs playing for them. So Indy's top men's duo of Dave Furman and Rich Lopez only played together a couple matches in weekend number 1. So they'll have a full weekend to play together now. But it doesn't get much tougher than this to play against the Denver duo of Scott Fliegelman and Chad Shane. I mean, that's gonna be something to watch there.
Absolutely. I look for Furman actually to kind of help develop this team. Obviously, he's got a great partner who made what I would consider to be the greatest play in NPL history, season 1, with the dive. But yeah, I don't know if that team's just playing together if they're there yet. Going against obviously a tough Denver team. So I look for Denver to maybe win that. But later in the season, I don't know. I mean, Furman's an OG and he can work magic. So.
Yeah, he's a big game player. I've seen it time and time again that he steps up when the spotlight's on him. Also playing big for Indy is NPL rookie Ryan Kearns, who had some really nice wins in weekend number 1. And I tell you what, he's going to be counted on all season to keep Indy competitive in some of these tough matchups. So I think Ryan's a good player. He's really improved over the past year or so. He's got some nice wins under his belt, and he's going to be an important piece for the Indy drivers team.
Yeah, these new players and players that we're not necessarily familiar with so far this season, like well done, like coming in and making a statement and kind of pushing their teams to victory when maybe that's not necessarily expected if you're sort of new to the league or maybe it's only your second year. But it's good to see that people who are coming into the league are really making an impact.
Yeah, it's nice to see what people when the spotlight's on them, maybe for the first time in a long time if they've
Yeah,
had some other sports experience, but at least in the NPL and all eyes are on you to step up and play well. It's great to see.
right. Absolutely.
All right, Sleeve. So the 6 teams playing in Denver for weekend number 2. Do you have a prediction for which team will win the weekend and get to cash that giant check?
Actually, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's Denver, but I feel like it's going to be Seattle.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with my same pick as I had as my preseason top team, the Seattle Tsunami. I think their men's lineup is really, really strong, and their women played really well in weekend number 1. Also, of course, they've got the top women that went undefeated, so I think they've got a really strong lineup. So, but this weekend will be fun to watch. It'll be. I won't be in Denver this weekend, but I'll be interested to follow along on the action on either the Baller TV app or NPL YouTube or pickleballteamleagues.com. You can kind of follow along there.
Yeah, and obviously, it's sneaky. Watch out for Coachella because we're going to find out really what they are, which is really exciting.
Absolutely. Wouldn't surprise anybody if Coachella ends up undefeated again and really separates themselves as the team to beat this year.
Absolutely.
All right, Sleeves. On the next episode of Shots Fired, we will feature NPL Weekend number 2 Denver recap. So including the eagerly anticipated Sleeves Players of the Month for both events. One male and female from the events total.
Right.
Go watch Sleeves in the hit movie Dream Breaker, a pickleball story. If you've already watched it, watch it again. It's that good. It's streaming now on HBO Max and Roku, right? Is it on Roku already?
I don't know. I think it's on Roku. If you don't have HBO Max, I think you can get it. You can buy it on HBO Max through Roku if you don't have that one. And there's also an article in Pickleball Magazine, the current issue that is out, about the movie itself.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
And also subscribe to Sleeves on his popular podcast, Sleeves Senior Pickleball Report. If you enjoy this,
if you want to take a cruise, I'll send Jeff. There's a link in the description if you want to get out there and hit some pickleballs on a boat and have a good time and eat and drink too much. You can do that as well. So
that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll include that in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode of Shots Fired, please like the video and subscribe on YouTube. It's all free, so just give us a little click. Sleeves, anything else you want to mention?
No, hey, let's pickle.